Go ahead, Ruben.
I get stupid.
Big Papa Son doing karaoke up in
You
here.
see him over here hitting it with the Kurt Cobain?
Yeah.
Ain't no half stepping. Ain't no half stepping with Marcus J.
Now, last week he was complaining because Pastor don't you want to crossover?
Ain't no half stepping with Marcus J. 804-447-0601. Played a little Nirvana there. Tonight, ain't no half stepping. Marcus J has taken a rock turn. So that's the kind of stuff you're going to be hearing tonight.
Awesome.
It was inspired by your man Big Ruben, his rant last week when he talked about how that song right there, Smells Like Teen Spirit, was one of them songs that when you heard it, you may not have been feeling rock music, but you was feeling that song. So that's kind of where we going tonight. So a couple of surprises that we might have for you tonight. If you don't like the song, just press pause.
What in the hell was that?
Hey man, y'all contagious, man. Y'all got cooties.
Really, man?
You the only one with that jersey
Where's the
on,
professionalism?
Yeah, really.
Where is the
I cut
professionalism?
the mic off and turned
Seriously,
my head.
y'all?
Oh,
I cut
everybody
my
could
mic
hear
off
that.
and turned
But
my
you
head.
know
Helen
this.
Keller heard that
only
stuff.
comes.
Okay, again, I'm gonna reiterate.
I'm just
your
saying
mouth,
that only
man.
comes
Damn.
from a Cowboys fan.
Yeah,
See, a
it does.
Steelers fan, a Redskins fan, and a Super Bowl defending champion, Super Bowl champion, New York Football Giants
And
fan
get
would
5
have
rings and call
had
me.
Oh,
to
my
a
God.
way of making sure that the entire world didn't hear him sneeze.
But they heard
Like I
it
said,
on
I cut
this
my mic off
All
and
right,
turned my head.
Sports Roundup.
But then
Thank
cover it with your mouth.
Sports Roundup.
Sound like you
First
farted.
thing I want to talk about in the Sports Roundup is the epic collapse that we are about to see happen in New York. What the hell is going on with the New York Yankees? What the hell is going on with the New York Yankees? Now, first of all, I do not respect the opinion of a person who has an opinion about a sport he doesn't like. So
I never said I didn't like
you don't like baseball, man.
I do
Come on,
like
come
baseball.
on, come on, come on.
I just don't follow it like you do.
You don't follow baseball. You don't
That's
have a,
all-
you don't
that's
have a
only
team
it.
in
Hold on,
baseball.
set it up, Marcus
I'm gonna set
J.
it up. All right, because I can't
What's the
immediately
collapse?
get into an argument with this guy over here. Anyway, New York Yankees back in July had a lead of 10 games. Had a 10-game lead, and after having lost today in Tampa Bay and Baltimore winning today in Toronto, the Yankees
2.5 hours.
No, they're down to 1.
What?
They have a 1-game lead.
I didn't even.
They have
I
a
looked at the
1-game lead.
standings.
Well, they dropped 2 of 3 against Baltimore this weekend in
Right,
the
I
Bronx.
saw that.
And so they fly down to Tampa Bay. Baltimore flies up to Toronto.
Right.
And the Yankees, of course, drop. Now, I watched the game. I watched every pitch today. CeCe Sabathia gave up 3 runs. It was okay. You know, you expect your big dog to give up 3 or less, go 8 innings. He did 7 and some change. He did what he was supposed to do.
All right.
David Robinson gave up the last run. They lose.
Not
4,
the basketball player.
they lost 4-3. So my question, and I'll start with you, Grizz. I don't know how much you pay attention to baseball, but
I do
as
this
a
time
sport,
of year.
but as a sports fan, you see a team that has an 8-game lead in July, a 10-game lead. That's actually a 10-game lead. Now I got my reasons for why I think this happened, but I want to get it from the room first.
Well, I'll say that first. I think the Yankees underestimated Baltimore. I mean, when you go back to March and April, spring training, nobody picked Baltimore to be where they are, you know. But then when you skip past the All-Star break and you see they're in the wild card contention, that raises your eyebrows a little bit. But the Yankees are the Yankees, and Marcus J, you know, I'll tell you, you're very arrogant with your Yankees.
Hell yeah.
The Yankees expect to win the East every year.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
I think that's what their downfall is. It's like maybe because the Steinbrenner's not there. I don't think is Cash in the GM still?
Cash is the GM, and every Steinbrenner is there except George.
Right, but it's like for some reason they not going that extra step. You know what I'm saying? Usually, like if it's Boston in there, you know, they would put the nail in the coffin. I don't see them putting the nail in the coffin this year, which usually by this time of year they would have at least got a nice at least 5 to 6 game cushion.
Big rope.
Well, we've had some injuries. I believe Curtis Grandson hadn't played the last couple of games. Of course, you know, A-Rod, you can say what you want, but A-Rod is really a defensive okay at third base.
He's on his
and he's
downside.
but he's still got some power left. He's still dangerous. You're not gonna pitch down the middle
Yeah, but he's
against
still on
A-Rod.
his downside.
But the biggest
he's not
thing,
worth it no more.
I think the Orioles didn't. I think Orioles are shocking themselves.
Exactly.
I don't think it's more the Yankees collapsing, even though we're losing games. I think it's more the Orioles actually winning for once.
Why can't it just be a 95 North beatdown on everybody who's above them? I mean, for real. The Yankees have this inflated payroll. Go ahead and say it, Marcus. I know you're thinking it. Ruben, I know you're thinking it. But you know what? It's about time the little man step up. Tampa Bay's done it. Baltimore's turn to go ahead and get up in the mix. That's my saying. That's all I got to say.
All right.
Well,
First of all,
you don't have anything to worry about, Yankees fans.
I mean,
think they still have enough pitching.
We're going to the playoffs.
Yeah.
Well, here's what I'll say, and Carlton likes to throw out the payroll thing because he thinks it's going to get me riled up. It's not going to get me riled up. He's an Atlanta Braves fan. Ted Turner was the owner. And so I don't even really need to go there with him. But as far as the Yankees and what's going on with them, when you look at the season and you look at the injuries, Big Rube alluded to it briefly a moment ago. Just this season alone, for long stretches of the season, you lost CC Sabathia, who was on the DL twice. Alex Rodriguez just came back from the DL today. He went 1 for 3. He'd been on since the middle of July. You got Brett Gardner, who's played 7 games this season. He hadn't played basically since April. Since April, due to injury. You had Andy Pettit, who broke his ankle in July, who hasn't played since then. He probably won't play the rest of the season.
He's old.
You got Mark Teixeira, who's on the bench right now. The only reason why he's not on the DL is because September you can expand the rosters, so you don't want to put him on the DL because you don't need to. As Big Group also alluded to, is you had Curtis Granderson, who missed the last couple of games with injury as well. The only real people who haven't missed any time is Derek Jeter, Nick Swisher. Yeah, a couple of guys.
How much time we got on this segment?
We got more. We gonna make it brief. I'll let you make your point. But the thing is, when you have that kind of injury shock the system of your team, it's going to be very difficult for you to sustain. This is what happened with the Red Sox last year. The Red Sox had a decent team, but the injury bug hit them. And you're not about making excuses. You don't want to make excuses, but there are reasons for why things happen. And a big part of why this happened is because of the injuries. Now, what I will say, and I'll let you make your point, and then we'll move on from the segment. Baltimore is a good team. They are a good team.
I don't even follow.
Baltimore is a good team. And when I saw them in spring training, I watched how Buck Showalter had those guys playing. It's his 3rd year there. Buck Showalter, for those people who don't know, he's the guy that got the Yankees ready for Joe Torre.
Right.
Okay, he was the manager up until '95 when they lost in the first round of Seattle. Remember, Ken Griffey Jr. got that single that A-Rod scored on to send the Yankees home, and Seattle moved on. This was in '95. The manager of that Yankee team was Buck Showalter. Great manager. So you give him a little bit of time, he's going to get them boys ready to play. So Baltimore, when we saw them around the All-Star break, they wasn't going nowhere. Tampa Bay, those guys can't hit. They beat us today 4-3, but real talk, I'm not really worried about them because they can't hit.
They can't hit, but they beat you?
I don't want to talk to you because you analyzing it with a football mind. You're talking about one game.
I'm not analyzing it
we're
with
talking about one game.
mind.
If you want to look at it stats-wise and you look at how they play throughout the season, their batting average for the season as a team is in the 230s. The Yankees' batting average as a team is 270s. They don't hit home runs. They don't get RBIs. They get outscored by the season. So you can't look at me and tell me one game they beat y'all.
You're not going to argue the host on his team.
Well, yeah. I mean, don't do that. Grizzly, go ahead. It's not that it's getting me riled up. It's that when you speak from an uninformed position, I got to go there with you.
Well, what I wanted to ask was for your Yankees fans, because there's 2 of them in here, is how much longer do the Yankees can afford to stick with the aging players that they have? And I will even put Teixeira in there, considering the money he's making and the production he's not getting for the bang for the buck, where they have to turn that corner, and will New York or the fan base allow them to turn that corner like a Jordan, Pippen, Chicago type situation?
They've already made a commitment to lower payroll. They want to get down under 189 before the end of next season, so that they don't have to get hit with the luxury tax. Now, everybody seems to make a big deal about the Yankees, how much money they make. It annoys me. It gets me fired up. It annoys me because the Yankees ain't the only team that spends money. If you look at the Red Sox, they're 11 games under 500. Right now, 11 games under 500. All this we talking about, the Yankees still in first place.
Dodgers just ate a whole bunch
The
of
Dodgers just took in $250 million worth of payroll. You got the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim. They pay a lot of money as well. The Braves pay a lot of money as well. The Mets. So all this about the Yankees and the payroll.
I'm just saying that those guys got to turn over.
To answer your direct question, the Yankees have one of the best farm systems in baseball. So if you look at a guy like Robinson Cano, who's in his prime, they about to pay him. You look at Curtis Granderson, who's in his prime, they about to pay him too. Mark Teixeira, he's 32.
He's getting paid
He's 32 years old.
Hey, but he got to go.
Yeah, he's 32 years old, so he's going to be around for a little while as well. You got somebody like Nick Swisher, who's also very young, who they have a decision on who they're going to pay. Who your big the chunks of the money right now is you're looking at Jeter at 38, you're looking at A-Rod at 37, you're looking at CC, even though he's not as old as those guys, he's a pitcher, so there's a lot of age on those shoulders and those elbows. So that's what you got on. That's what you got on the Yankees.
And further on to go back to the payroll question, on the payroll situation, Baltimore actually spends just as much as the Yankees, if maybe up and down $10 million. So to sit here and say that, well, Yankees spend all the money, hey, Baltimore's spending some money too.
I don't buy
They lose, so you don't look at them like that. But they spend just as much money as the Yankees do.
They tickets the same?
I don't know.
Let's move on. Let's move.
Thank you.
Let's move on from the Yankees. I want to talk a little bit about the United States Open, U.S. Open. Andy Roddick, Big Rube, has announced that this will be his final tournament. Go on, pick up there.
Yeah, it's gonna be. He talked the other day. Yeah, this is it for me. So when I'm done, I'm done. And now he's in the round of 16. It's almost like he has basically said, "Hey, look, this is my last hurrah. I'll let everybody know. Fans, please cheer for me because I'm the only American left in the men's side of the U.S. Open." So pretty much that's what's happened, and it's almost like the fans are willing him to win. He's playing his best tennis in a long time.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, he's about to run into a brick wall. I believe it's tomorrow.
Yeah, he's playing tomorrow. I can't remember the fella's name that he's playing against.
But he ain't
tomorrow.
American.
No, I think it's
Djokovic?
Well, he won. No. I know. I heard Nadal today is out for the next 2 months.
Wow.
He got a torn patella tendon in his knee. I can't remember the fella's name that Andy's playing tomorrow. But
tennis is a niche sport.
But Andy has only won one Grand Slam in his entire career.
Yeah.
You know, so while he's an American and we like to get excited, you know, he comes through a long line of John McEnroes and Jimmy Connors
Michael
and people,
Chang's.
you know, people
Pete
like Sampras and people, Andre Agassi, people like that. But he hasn't really done.
He's a choke artist.
You know, he's 30 years old. He's got one Grand Slam. I like him. I root for him, but you know,
he wouldn't be on our fantasy tennis team, right? Thank you.
No. So that's enough for U.S. Open. Big Rube. What football team played an emotionally charged game on Saturday and went to a unfortunate defeat?
You know, Penn State lost to the MAC, the Mid American Conference, Ohio University, 24-14. You know, I'm not going to sit here and say bad things about Penn State. I'm just going to say, for the next 4 years, get used to this. Penn State's not good. They're not going to be good. And it's going to be something. It's almost worse than what SMU is going through, what they went through with the death penalty. They were gone, and it took them 20 years to rebuild their football program. With Penn State, it's almost like it's a living death. Like, you have to watch these guys
They're
play
zombies?
as hard. Might as well be. They have to play they play as hard as they can and bless their heart. But there's no way 65 men can be better than 85 men, and it's gonna be a problem. Next week, the UVA. UVA is not sorry. You know, they're gonna go into Penn State and probably beat them. And it's just sad because you have 100,000 plus fans and alumni, and they're just like, we are Penn State. Yeah, but you know, to me, it sucks. But the more important thing is, it's just sad. I would rather them just cancel football for 3 years.
Yeah.
Are you saying that they're getting what they deserve?
I didn't say that.
I'll say it.
I'm just saying it's sad. It's just really sad to watch it.
I think they got off, in my personal opinion. I'm sure y'all guys.
Well, you hadn't had a
show.
chance to get in, so go ahead.
I think they got off light. Now that I'm sitting there,
disagree completely.
I say they got off light. It's not anything against the football team. It was the institution, and that institution, the football team, is a part of that institution. It was institutional what was going on there, and for them to still be able to make money and to hold up, I mean, yeah, the whole institution should be punished for what went on there.
Well, and they are, but I think they're punished. I think them playing this living death punished the players more than anybody else.
Players could have left.
I mean,
They could have transferred
some
out.
did leave, and I wish they all would have left. But you know, you got some. I mean,
You got to know
they
where you're
love
going.
Penn State. I understand that, but
If Penn State's coach came to my son, if their coaches wanted to recruit my son and they came in my house, I kicked their asses straight on out. Get out of here.
I mean, and the biggest thing was The game was Penn State's until Penn State missed an interception. Duke tipped it, and then Ohio got caught it, took it for a touchdown, and that literally just changed the whole complexion of the game.
It's almost morbid that people are like looking at Penn, like the focus is on Penn State. Like the press is watching this unfold, and they had all this. They had it on ESPN.
It's a train wreck.
Right. It's like, why do you have to watch it? I'm tired of it. Thank you, Marcus J.
Ain't no half Steppin, Marcus J. We're going to take a break here. When we come back, we got our football preview show. 804-447-0601. Get in with the discussion and rep your squad. Ain't no half Steppin, Marcus J. Be back in a minute.
Yes, sir.